I am quite excited about this. What I have here is a box of Epson Exhibition Matte canvas, and we're gonna test it. I've wanted to test this stuff for years. I've traditionally used breathing color, pre-laminated canvas. So with that canvas, you do not have to coat it afterwards, but it's not as durable. As my costs have gone up and not wanting to raise my prices, I have been looking around at a lot of other canvases to try to find something more economical for me that'll still do what my customers need. There's not a lot of information out there about inkjet canvases and what people prefer, aside from what printers prefer. What a printer prefers may not be what an artist prefers. Now, Epson Exhibition Canvas is one that I have come across probably more than any others. I print with Canon printers, and I don't plan on changing that. Because of that, there are no readily available color profiles for my Canon printers for this Epson canvas, which is a huge part of why I've never used it. But having used other canvases recently that didn't have great ICC profiles, I've had pretty good luck with the stock settings on my Canon printers. And I decided that if I like the canvas, I can always just have a profile made for my Canon printers of this canvas. One of the struggles I've had with Epson Exhibition is finding a lot of good information about it. I still don't even know if this canvas has brighteners in it, OBAs. Vendors haven't been able to tell me, Epson themselves haven't been able to tell me. One of my struggles with moving to a company like Epson is they're such a huge company that I don't feel like you get anywhere near the direct support and knowledge about a specific product. I have had good luck with Epson customer support as far as printers go because I have a small format Epson printer, but it's important to me that when I have questions, I can email a company and get an actual response from a human who I feel like has some experience with the product or some firsthand knowledge, like that's their specialty. So some of these other smaller companies, Breathing Color, for example, has really good support as far as their knowledge of their individual products that they sell. One of the other questions I've had about this canvas is whether or not it requires coating. Now, I know coating your canvas after you print it is always going to be recommended, and it's always going to get you the best life in your canvas. And I know there's some coating on a satin canvas. If they're selling me a canvas that's already labeled satin, then it has some coating on it that's gonna give it a satin sheen. But some manufacturers of canvas will have a coating, but still very clearly say that you need to spray or roll a varnish on top of that. I couldn't get this information from Epson. So now that I'm coating everything anyways, it doesn't really matter to me. I would probably only use their matte canvas, as I'd rather just have one canvas and then apply the satin or the matte sheen via the varnish afterwards, rather than stocking two separate canvases. If somebody out there has something to say about that, please leave a message in the comments below. So now that I've expressed an interest in having a profile made and looking at all these different kinds of canvas, my sales rep at IT Supplies, where I buy a lot of my paper, reached out to Epson and they sent me this test roll. It is 13 inches wide by 20 feet long. So 13 inches wide isn't gonna do much as far as a gallery wrap. I can do 8x10s. That's really the only thing I do with canvas is gallery wraps. So I'm gonna do some 8x10s. I might print a couple bigger ones just to see what it feels like. I have not had a profile made, so I am going to use the Artistic Matte Canvas profile on my Canon printer. Now there's something else about coating on canvases that I wanna mention. So when I started laminating my canvases, I tried to roll them first, and I got a lot of ink roll off. Pretty much every canvas manufacturer I talked to said their canvases were not intended to have varnish rolled on, except for Breathing Color. Now Breathing Color, if you roll on and you use their glamour varnish and you want it matte, you have to, for some reason, coat it with gloss first, then matte. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm spraying. But I would love to know, with the matte timeless varnish that I have and the satin timeless varnish, if this canvas can have varnish rolled on. Sometimes if I just do a quick little 8x10 print, I don't necessarily want to go through the cleanup of setting up my sprayer. So I will also do a test of rolling timeless varnish on a small one of these prints and see how that goes. See if I get ink roll off, because if I get ink roll off, it's not worth doing. Generally, with my Breathing Color canvases, if it's a pre-laminated canvas, you get ink roll off, no matter what varnish you use. Only a true matte canvas that has no lamination is gonna work for no ink roll off, and I can't figure out whether or not this has lamination or not. So Epson, if you're seeing this, hire one person just to like work on your canvases and just to provide information for us printers out there. That would be great. Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna do some tests. I'm gonna do 3 prints. I'm gonna do one where I spray on matte. I'm gonna do one where I spray on satin. And I'm gonna do one where I try rolling on. Again, this is Epson Exhibition Matte canvas. Let's do it. All right, I ran 3 prints. I actually used the Special 6 setting on my Canon Pro 6100. This canvas came with a handy information sheet. Most canvases do not. It still does not list whether or not it has any brighteners in it. But this isn't so much specs, it's just instructions. I used the Special 6 setting because this does specifically say with the matte canvas to use matte black ink in your printer, and Canon's artistic matte preset lists matte and photo black. So just to be safe, I used the Special 6 setting. I used the ICC profile for Breathing Colors Live canvas. I think that's a pretty similar product, and I have that profile installed on my machine. The colors look great, but again, if I decide to move forward using this canvas, I will have a custom ICC profile made for each of my Canon large format printers. This stuff is expensive. I believe it's about the same price as the Breathing Color Live, and it's a little bit thicker, so that's nice. It's 23 mil versus the 19 mil for Breathing Color, but I'm also looking at this company called Q Media, which is cheaper than both of them. They offer an OBA-free matte canvas that is, I believe, 20 mil, maybe 21, and it's cheaper than both of these. I don't like the texture of the weave quite as much on that canvas as this one, but I don't know how big a deal that is to me. We'll compare them. But I'm gonna finish these. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. This piece of paper actually says to let these dry for 48 hours. The timeless varnish calls for 24, so I'm at least gonna wait 24, and I will spray them tomorrow. The instructions also say to spray any coating that you use, but I will still do the test with rolling. It doesn't say to not roll, it just says for optimal life, coat it with an aqueous spray. Other than that, the canvases do look wonderful. I like the way they feel. Pretty similar to the Breathing Color. A little bit thicker than the Q Media. So, all right, we'll check in tomorrow. All right, so I have sprayed the other 2 canvases. Now I'm going to roll some timeless matte varnish on the Epson Exhibition canvas. No, I see ink. So I'm gonna say no for rolling timeless varnish on Epson Exhibition matte canvas. Shoot. All right, we got 3 prints, satin, matte, both sprayed, matte, rolled. Rolled did not work. Ink rolled off onto the roller, so I won't be doing that again. These both look awesome. Sprayed with timeless varnish by Breathing Color. I like the matte more, as always. The blacks are deeper. It just has no reflection from any lighting at all. Looks absolutely awesome. Super durable. Now the last thing I have to test is actually stretching these, because cracking is a big thing, and I want to see how this canvas handles that. All right, for the stretch, I'm using these economy stretcher bars, which will be a good test because they have a hard right corner, which is not ideal as far as cracking on canvases. So let's give these a quick stretch and see how it goes. All right, the matte looks good. With canvas, you're always gonna get a little bit of white on the folds because there's weave. You know, when that folds over the edge, I think it's gonna be next to impossible to completely get rid of that. Totally acceptable for the matte. I think it looks awesome. I'll do a close-up of the edges. All right. Satin did better. The edges are better. I actually really like the satin. I think I still like the matte more. I'll do close-ups of both. Yeah, I like the matte more, but they both look great. I don't yet know if this is the canvas I'll be using from here on out. It's really expensive. I'm gonna test Breathing Color Live. It's a little bit cheaper, and the access to customer support that has extensive knowledge of their specific canvas, not just good return policies or whatever, is really important. And Breathing Color is much better than Epson for that. Obviously, I've had trouble finding out information about this canvas, period. But I can't really do a solid side-by-side until I test the Breathing Color Live canvas as well. And when I did that before, I tried Rolling Glamour, it was a whole thing, blah, blah. So that test did not count, and I used all the canvas. So I'm gonna order some more of the Live, give it a test, and compare it against these. So I will do another video at that time. The other thing with Breathing Color is I can get ICC profiles without having to have them made for the canvas, which I will with the Epson. But overall, I really like the Epson Exhibition Matte canvas. So that's my review of the canvas. Good stuff, expensive, but worth it. And the colors look great using the standard profiles that I used. So if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a great day.